Hey guys, it's Pose. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to a brand new video today. Like I said I was going to do, I'm going to do my Premier League predictions. Obviously it's hard not seeing my boyhood club in the Premier League anymore, but I'll do my predictions anyway. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you leave a like and also hit subscribe if you haven't already. It's free to do so and you can cancel at any time. And good to know, I've hit 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, I just want to say, can't thank you guys enough for helping me reach this milestone. It's all down to you guys, so I really appreciate all the support you've given me. I will be doing a Q&A, I think, on this 1,000 subscriber milestone, so if you have any questions for me, let me know. You can message me on Instagram, tweet me, message me on either of those two, or leave a comment on this video if you like, and I'll get around to doing that in a later video. So, without further ado, let's go on with your predictions. I'm going to go from 20th up to 1st. And yeah, let's just get straight into it. So in 20th position, bottom of the Premier League table this year, I'm going to put Sheffield United. Now, it's very simple. Sheffield United went up in 2nd last year. That was a very good campaign, obviously, to get back promoted to Premier League. But they've sold 2 of their key players. They've sold NGI. They've also sold Sander Berg as well. And they've not done much in terms of replacing those players. Souza, who is coming from a relegation team at Espanyol, and they've also had a really poor pre-season. So I can't really say much other than to put Sheffield United in bottom of the table. It'd be anything, if they survive, it's probably their team's main goal. If they survive, it'd be really good for them. But I can't see them escaping the relegation battle this year. I really can't. And this is the only one of the newly promoted sides I've actually put to get relegated. Spoilers, I know, but that's the only one. Moving on to 19th position, I've actually gone for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now, Wolves are on their downwards path at the moment, I think. They've lost Ruben Neves to Saudi, they've lost Jimenez to Fulham, and they've also lost Moutinho. I think he's retired. I didn't do too much research, but he's gone as well. So, they haven't really got a lot of quality left in this squad. You've brought in Matheus Cunha again from Atletico on a permanent basis. I think it was about £50 million for him, or thereabouts. It's a crazy sum for a player that didn't do too great for you last season, and you've even given my team Stoke Chiquinho and Keanu Hoover, and everyone I've seen online don't know why they got rid of Chiquinho for a loan season. Like, I'll take it. He's doing all right for us so far. He hasn't done anything in terms of assists or goals yet, but he's a quality player, and you can see that on the pitch. And Keanu Hoover, brilliant for us in the last half of the last season. Glad we're going back again. Keanu Hoover's back at Stoke. Hopefully he stays permanently at the end of the season, because I'd like him to. But Wolves just need to replace the players they've lost. Replacing Neves is going to be hard anyway, because he is a one of the kind of player. He is amazing, and that's when you'll improve. Recent news: Lopetegui's gone, and you've also got in Gary O'Neill, who managed Bournemouth last season, and I think that is a good pickup. I think he's probably better than Lopetegui. He kept Bournemouth up. It was a shame he didn't stay at Bournemouth. But if you can bring in the right players between now and the start of the season, and also in the winter window, you'll have a chance of staying up. But I just can't see it this year. Now in 18th, I've put Everton. It's a big shout, and I'm putting Everton in the relegation zone. But they've been around that relegation now for the past 2 seasons, and they don't look good. They've had a good pre-season, don't get me wrong, including beating Stoke, but it was a 1-0 game, and you scored in the 96th minute, and the goal was very sloppy. And from a Stoke point of view, looking at Everton, he didn't look that good on the day. He had obviously key moments of quality, but it didn't look like anything that I've not used to seeing from teams coming up against Stoke in the last 5 seasons. You look like a championship team, which is no disrespect. You've got your quality players. You've obviously got Pickford, who can be good in his day, but even he looks a little bit ropey against us. That you've also brought in Danjuma, and you still got Iwobi, who looks good on that wing. He might be one of your star players next season, but you need to strengthen more. You've lost Connor Cody, you've lost Moise Keane back to Juventus, where you think you bought him from last time. But the thing you do, you need to organise yourself a little bit better. The only good thing is you've got Sean Dyche, who's a solid manager who knows how to keep a team in the league. So I'm trusting Sean Dyche can keep them up, and 18th is a hard place to put Everton. I wouldn't put them there normally. It was a tie between them and Bournemouth. Hint, I've got Bournemouth in 17th. But yeah, Everton, it's going to be hard to keep you up. And going into Bournemouth, I've put them to survive. They just look a little bit more stable than Everton. It was a toss-up between the two sides, but Bournemouth, Justin Kluivert, and they've also got, Kirkez? Don't know much about him. Apparently he's good. I just think they're stronger than both Wolves and Everton currently, and I just think they'll stay up. Probably the last game of the season, the last 2 games of the season, they'll get enough points to keep themselves above that dreaded dotted line. Now moving on to 16th spot, which I've put Nottingham Forest in. The Premier League's obviously hard. Between 11th and 16th, anyone can finish anywhere. Just like the Championship is more like 7th to 21st. Anyone can finish anywhere. But the Premier League is 11th to 16th. But Nottingham Forest I put in 16th. I've originally put them to go down, but looking over my notes, and obviously I was like, you know what? And after watching Everton against Stoke, that's why I put Everton to go down and Forest to survive. Matt Turner's come in, so is Elanga, and you've also got Chris Wood on the permanent now. And that's really all you need. You shouldn't need to sign anyone else. You made 30 signings last season. Obviously, most of those loans have gone back to the clubs like Keylor Navas has. But you shouldn't need to do too much more. You've got the players there. You've got Brennan Johnson and Gibbs White still. As long as both of them stay, I can't see you going down. They'll have a great season. Gibbs White's just come off the back of winning the Under-21s Euros of England. So again, I think you'll do really well and you'll have a spectacular season. And moving on to 15th spot, I've got Luton Town surviving. It's a tough place to go, Luton, and a lot of Premier League teams will come to the reality of seeing what Kenilworth Road is like. It's a tough little ground. The Arsenals and the Liverpools and the Man Cities of the Premier League, when their fans go there especially, they'll know the difference when going to Kenilworth Road. It'll be a tough place to go. I imagine Luton now being what Stoke was like in 2008, 2009 when we got promoted. We're a strong physical team, tough to beat, with a home stadium that's going to be very hard to get points in. So Luton, you'll survive, and the journey you've had is amazing from National League to Premier League in 10 years. It's incredible. Today, as of recording today, it's the Thursday. Premier League starts tomorrow. You signed Jacob Brown. Gutted to see him go, honestly. He is a great player for Stoke. He's done quite a lot in the last 3 seasons he's been there. He's a genuine person. Even I met him the other day. I put the photo there. He's a genuine guy. He's so kind. Also signed Ross Barkley, Ryan Giles, and you've still got Marvelous and Nakamba. And that's solid enough. Your team is really good. And you'll survive. Maybe, just maybe, look again another keeper. I don't know if you signed anybody. I haven't done that much research, like I said, but look again, probably a stronger keeper. Maybe in the winter window. So yeah, it depends on how you're doing. And I reckon you'll stay up. It's going to be a hard place to go, Luton, and the Premier League teams will realise that when it comes to about October time. You'll go, we've got Luton away. It's going to be tough. At 14th spot, I've got Burnley, winners of the Championship last year, over 100 points. And Vincent Kompany has not let up in the window, signing some big players, like say signing Sander Berge from a fellow relegation rival from Sheffield United. Jacob Brun-Larsen, I've rated him quite highly. He's quite a good player. Also got James Trafford and Bayer, who's played in the Bundesliga. I think it was Mönchengladbach. He got him from. He's a good centre back. And apparently Amdouni, he's apparently a very promising player. I don't know too much about him, but Kompany knows what he's doing and he knows what he wants, and he'll get that. He is that type of manager. He will get what he wants from his players. But he's done quite well, clearing out a lot of deadwood as well. Ashley Barnes is gone. Weghorst has gone off on loan again, and also got rid of Peacock Farrell, who's been lingering around the club for a little bit. So you're doing some good work, and again, Burnley are going to be another tough team to beat at Turf Moor. I reckon it's just going to be the away form that lets them down. Burnley in 14th, again surviving with Luton. Obviously, they can chop and change as much as they can, but they will stay up, I think. And 13th spot is an unlucky 13th, but not a bad spot for Fulham, which we were put in that position. There's a lot of speculation on Mitrovic leaving. Apparently, Fulham have rejected an offer from Saudi League, but at the moment, he's still there. He's still a Fulham player, and Jimenez up front next season. If they play both of them up front, it's a good partnership, and I could see a lot of goals going in for Fulham. They had a solid season last year. and they could finish a lot higher than 13th if things go their way. Calvin Bassey is another player that apparently looks good. £20 million from Ajax, decent price tag from a decent club. You'd expect good things from them. So, can't say much else really. Willian, Pereira, Paulinho, strong midfield will carry you. 12th spot, I've got Crystal Palace, and they need to do a lot to avoid the drop. I'm not saying they will. I reckon they'll be comfortable this year. They always are every season. They've sold Wilfried Zaha, they got rid of Milivojevic as well. But Eze and Elise, they're coming up. They're great players. Eze, I just remember that goal he scored against Stoke for QPR a few seasons ago now, and he rinsed us apart. And I can't really imagine what he's like now. You Crystal Palace fans, I can't bet you're loving seeing him and Elise play at the moment. Jefferson Lerma's also coming from Bournemouth, and that's another great solid sign in the midfield. You'll stay up, like I say, comfortably. You just need to get a way to score goals. Like I say, you've lost Zaha. You need a good striker. Edouard is not really doing it for you at the moment. In 11th spot, just finishing outside the top half of the Premier League, I've gone for Brentford. Now, it's going to be tough for them not having Ivan Toney until January, because obviously he's betting what he's been doing again. And yeah, it's going to be tough, but Brentford have proven on many occasions that they can just win games without him. And like I say, I reckon they'll be comfortable again. They've also solidified their defence a bit more as well. Got Flacken in, and again from the Bundesliga, 13 clean sheets and 34 for him. Started every game, played every minute of last season. And also Nathan Collins, he also got in from Wolves as well. Used to play for Stoke, very good at Stoke, decent for Wolves, Premier League experience now. In the Thomas Frank side, he will do really well. I can't see any faults really. You could argue again of a striker, and whilst Tony's injured on loan, and maybe until winter when Tony comes back, but you don't need him. You don't need to sign anybody else. You don't need Tony really, and when he comes back, he'll just score even more goals. So comfortably surviving Brentford. To the 10th spot now, West Ham United, Europa Conference League winners. Now you're into Europa League again next season. Still going to be tough. You've still got fellow teams in there from the Premier League as well in that competition with Liverpool, Brighton. It's going to be a tough task for them. Alvarez, the only player you've signed so far. James Ward-Prowse has been close to signing. I think the deal broke down with Southampton because of their asking price. I think they wanted about 40-something million for him. But he looks like a player you need to get in to replace Declan Rice, because he's still played close enough. It's really going to replicate what Rice has been doing. Great defensively, free kicks. He's the best in the world at free kicks. That they could be crucial for you this season. But I reckon you'll comfortably finish in 10th spot. Maybe from my personal opinion, bring in another striker. Some of the strikers you've got are quite old now. You've got Ben Rama on the wing. You've got Antonio still. You've sold Scamacca. You just need to get in a good quality striker with that money from Declan Rice. You've got 100 million. You're going to spend 40 of that on Ward-Prowse. Ideology says you've got 60 million left. Go and spend the money. Get a good quality striker or two to help you for the Europa League and the Premier League, and you can get 10th spot. And I reckon you will get 10th spot. It'll probably be a tough start, especially with the Europa League group stages and stuff, but you will. I reckon you'll finish 10th. Now into 9th position. Now I've put Aston Villa to finish there, and again they've got European football this season as well. They've got your Conference League. First time Emery's taken them into Europe, and obviously he had a great season last season. Emery came in with taking over from Steven Gerrard, and Villa about to go down, and took them straight up to the ranks, finishing Europe. And it's great achievement for them. They've done some great business, free signings that stand out. Obviously, Diaby, Pau Torres, and Tielemans. Even Tielemans on a free as well, which is even better. All those free players will improve your squad massively on the top of what you already have there. It's going to be a great season. Watkins was 5 in last season. You still got great defenders. You got Tyrone Mings is still there, and you've still got Emi Martinez in goal, as far as I know. But the only problem is Europe, I reckon, will tire them just a little bit. Not obviously too much, I reckon. Just a few chop and changes. Maybe some inexperienced players in the Premier League might have to come into the Premier League games or the Conference League games to make up for that little recovery that the senior players will have. But It'll still be comfortable. It'll be good development for him if that's the case. But you got a very, very strong team overall. And ninth is a great spot to finish. Outside European competitions again, Conference League. Could you win it? Potentially. I can't really see other teams in there, but when the teams from the Europa League drop into that competition, that's when obviously it'll pick up a bit. But I can see Villa going far. I'm going to say Villa gets to the semi-finals in that. Into 8th spot, I've got Brighton. And Brighton were a very, very exciting team to watch last year. They had a lot of drama after Graham Potter left for Chelsea. Brought in De Zerbi, this manager from nowhere, and they're still keeping up that same form that they had under Graham Potter. And they're going to look even better next season. They might have lost McAllister, but they've got João Pedro, Milner, and also Dahoud, and I rate Dahoud so highly. Almost won the league with Dortmund last year, getting regular game time there, Champions League experience, going into Europa League. It's going to be a good season for you again, and this is my wild card for the season. I reckon Brighton might win a trophy. It might be the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup, but I reckon they have potential to go and win something, and I think they kind of need to, just to, go show where they're at. Just keep players fit, keep their fixture congestion down a bit, but you just need to see what you want to prioritise. You want to get an FA Cup, a Carabao Cup, try and push in Europa League, but I'll say you've got some tough teams in there. Like I said, Liverpool are in there this year. Many other teams will drop down from the Champions League as well for the knockout stages. It's going to be tough for the Europa League. You won't win that, but I can't see you doing any worse than 8th in the Premier League. So 7th spot, the Europa Conference League spot, I'm going to give it to Tottenham Hotspur. Most people probably expect that, to be honest. There's been a lot of drama at Spurs at the moment over Harry Kane, whether he's going to stay or go to Bayern Munich today. Apparently they've accepted an offer around 115 million for Harry Kane, but apparently Harry Kane wants to stay at Spurs. It's a tough call. He wants to go for Shearer's record. I don't blame him. I think anyone would if you're in that position, but you get some trophies under your name, don't you? But other than Harry Kane, you signed James Maddison from Leicester. Obviously he went down, so obviously it's a much better signing, and be much better for Son and Kane, and even Kulusevski, who got brought in on permanent as well. Much better for them, get some good assists to his name, and he's a great player overall. Just need to get someone else in the defence, I think. Obviously go alongside Romero if you just need somebody else. Now into 6th, and I have got Newcastle United finishing there. They had a really good season last year and finishing in 4th, getting Champions League. Helps you bring in some big name players like you've done. You've got Livramento, Harvey Barnes, and obviously the key one being Sandro Tonali from AC Milan. He's going to shore up that midfield quite definitely. So the Champions League, I reckon they'll have an okay Champions League. I reckon they'll have an okay group as well. I just have a feeling they'll get a decent group, get out of the group, and then get some horrible draw in the next round and get kicked out in the last 16. That's my prediction. They could prove me wrong and win the whole thing for all I know. But it's going to tire you. That's why I've got you in 6th. I just don't think you'll be able to do it again, especially with the come up of like Chelsea. Now they've got a new manager, and even Liverpool again next season. I just reckon it's going to be hard to push into that top 4. It always is. But 6th is still respectable. European football again next year, if that does happen. But you've got a good squad. You've just shored it up as well with Livramento and Barnes. Maybe another defensive player in just to cover that, because you've got a lot of fixtures now, especially with Champions League added to the mix. So another defender or two, shore up the squad depth, and you'll be fine this season. But 6th, I think, is still respectable. 5th spot, I've got Chelsea, just missing out on Champions League football this year. You got Mauricio Pochettino, and you should do well under him. Again, you've got no European football to worry about. So again, just like Spurs, it's just Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and that should be it. You've had a lot of ins, a lot of outs. Obviously, some of the ins being Nkunku, and it's Diassi or Disassi. I think the S is silent, but Diassi. And you've got Lukaku back. I don't know if he's going to stay at the club. I think it is what it is, but if Lukaku wants to stay at Chelsea and prove himself on the Poch, he has the chance to. So you never know. The outs, you've got Havertz obviously going to Arsenal, Koulibaly going to, I think it was the Saudi League, Kante's gone to the Saudi League, play with Benzema, Mount's gone to United, Azpi's gone, Pulisic is gone, and Aubameyang is gone. So you've had a lot of outs, and so you've got a lot of money in. I don't know where you need to sign. Chelsea fans, maybe you can let me know in the comments where you think you need to shore up on. But you got some decent money for them. No European football, like I say, you can, again, just like Newcastle and Spurs, you can push into the top four. But like I say, it's still going to be a hard season. In fourth, I have got Arsenal to finish there. Yes, they finished second last year and they could have almost won the league as well. But I've gone for fourth simply because Champions League football's back. Obviously, they had European football last season as well, but Champions League is a lot more hectic, a lot more goes into the Champions League, and I reckon Arsenal might want to prioritise that a little bit more than the Premier League. I really don't know. But there's a lot more pressure on Arsenal this year. They're finishing second. They have, and the signings they've made, they might be like, we should be winning the league with what we have. And they could. Anyone could in the top four. That, but signed Declan Rice, Timber and Havertz. Like I say, Champions League football, but it depends what you prioritise. Do you prioritise the Prem? Do you prioritise the Champions League? Or do you, if one of them goes out your reach, do you chuck in more bodies to try and win one of the domestic cups? So Arsenal just need to win something. They have a chance to win the Prem. Like I say, fourth is where I think they'll finish though. Third, I have got Manchester United. Obviously, Man United, obviously I grew up with them being the powerhouse of the league. Obviously, times changed. Obviously, they've signed Mason Mount. Obviously, I still think it's a good signing. Probably not as good as like Maddison is to Spurs, but the quality of Man United is a lot more than Spurs is. So, Mason Mount, obviously, good signing. Link up with Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes in the midfield. And also getting Onana in. David De Gea has gone now. I think he's been linked to Real Madrid, I think, today. And yeah, even though he's been lobbed, Onana, he is still a great keeper. He's more like that sweeper keeper, that type of like Manuel Neuer type of goalkeeper. But he will do well for you. He just needs time to settle. It's a big expectation. It's Manchester United. It's one of the biggest, if not the biggest club in the world, and they will obviously have a lot of pressure on him being the new number one. But he'll do well. They've got Højlund in as well. He got him from Atalanta in Italy. He will do well as well. Probably not do as well as Haaland, being the fake Haaland, but he'll do well. He'll score quite a few goals with him and Rashford, all them up front, linking up. The only thing for me, I'd say for Manchester United is lose Maguire. Apparently, getting some offers in from like West Ham, from about 30 million for Maguire. Take it. Send Maguire off. We're on to the final two, second and first. Who have I got winning the league, and who have I got coming second? And to win the league, I've got Manchester City, just like anybody else, and I've also got Liverpool finishing in second. Liverpool finishing in second simply because they had an off-season, I think, last year. That was their off-season. They signed Szoboszlai, I think that's how you say it. It's the Hungarian midfielder. And obviously Alexis McAllister obviously won the World Cup in December. And obviously you've lost Henderson and also Fabinho to the Saudi League. You just need one more midfielder, I think. Or if Trent goes into midfield, I know people have been rumouring saying he could go into midfield and you just bring another full-back in. That's also an option. I think Trent's a lot better in midfield, in my personal opinion. If you played him in there for England and he's done really well, he's a more attacking-minded player, realistically. So, yeah. I think if you just shore up the defence and get somebody else in, and if you can go wrong, Cody Gakpo will do well again next season, I think. Nunez might we've got the odd goal there, here or there. Still got Salah. He's still got a great team. That's why I put you second, just not as good as Manchester City, who are just continuously improving. Gvardiol got in, the Croatian centre-back from RB Leipzig, you brought him in. And also you got St. Kovacic as well, which is also a decent signing in midfield. Sure, not that midfield, that little bit more. Now that Gundogan's gone, you filled that replacement in really, really well. Kevin De Bruyne is now captain. I think, like I say, they'll win the Premier League again. He'll lift the trophy. I don't think Man City will do no competitions. They can win them all, realistically. Do I think they will? No. I reckon they'll do a double. I probably would, like I say, I reckon they'll win the Prem. I reckon they'll win the FA Cup again, probably. That's what I think they'll do. They're just too good for the league. Other notes I've got down here, I've got Kyle Walker's obviously stated there's a lot of rumours of him going to Sheffield United. They could probably use him. I'll put him in 20th. If Walker went to Sheffield United, they might have a lot more of a chance because he's a solid player. And yeah, the last thing I've got down there, I reckon Grealish will have one of the best seasons that he's ever had in football. I reckon he'll bag quite a lot. I reckon he'll get about 30 goal involvements and goals and assists. I reckon he'll do really well. So yeah, that rounds off my predictions. I put Manchester City to win the league, which is no real surprise. A lot of people do, but Manchester City will be the champions and they will break the record in most successive Premier League wins, and that's what I reckon will happen. So that's it, we've gone through them all. If there's anything you feel like you disagree with, also let me know in the comments below. I will be happy to read them. But like I say, this is my opinion, don't take it as fact. Like I say, I've not done a lot of research on it. Obviously I do watch the Premier League games. Just this is my opinion, what I think is going to happen. And yeah, any of these can change. We also got a lot of newly promoted teams, but I think the Premier League is weaker this year than it was last year. The Championship is very, very busy this year. A lot of big teams in the Championship this year. If you want to see my Championship predictions, there's going to be a link in the description for you guys to go check that out if you guys want to see it. So that's the end of the video. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Like I say, if you have, leave a like. If you do, hit subscribe as well. Like I say, I've just hit 1,000 subscribers. So again, thank you guys very much for the support. I'm going to be doing a Q&A soon. Leave any questions for me again in the comments below. I will answer them. I haven't done a Q&A in quite a long time, so we're looking forward to doing another one of them. Yeah, more matchday vlogs coming up. In terms of Stoke, we got Ipswich at the weekend, and then we got Watford. I should be going to the Watford game, so you will see that vlog. So, like I say, hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is Pones, and signing out, and peace.